Welcome everybody to special guest Talks Vinyl. I'm here with Derek Trautwein, actor, producer, writer, comedian, personality, I don't know what else you can call him. Does a lot of interesting, very cool stuff with Kansas City Theater. And what he has done today is he has gone through my collection, picked out some of his favorite records, and he's going to tell us about it. So let's go through it. Let's just get started. What do we got?
Let me preface by saying that I was expecting to pick a lot of like metal and like classic hard rock and roll. That's what I was expecting to pick out of there, but I was pleasantly surprised. So let's go through it, okay?
All right.
So, and these are all for different reasons, of course, but in no particular order.
Right.
For these first few, all right. I picked out War.
It's a great album.
Greatest hits. This album right here, I own myself. My boss, he collects a lot of records, and any duplicates he has, he gives them to me. But before he gave me this, I kept asking him over and over again, like, "Hey, who sings this song? That's War. Who sings that song? That's War. Holy shit!" Like, I didn't know it, but I really like War.
Yeah.
You know. So this is something that everybody should have, in my opinion. You've probably heard every song on this album somewhere in your life, and it always takes you back. When you hear it, your emotion memory kicks in to like, oh, I remember what I was doing when I heard that song, because it's War.
What's your favorite track off that album?
Oh, it's probably maybe Lowrider. Probably Lowrider, because
It's a classic.
It's a classic, but my mom would let me watch Cheech and Chong movies when I was like 10, and so it kind of sticks with me. Another reason why this album is so important and special to me, the first play I ever wrote in college was called The Islander, and Matt was in it, but I remounted it for its first like professional production about 2 years ago, and during the re-edit, knowing that Scott's such a big, like, the guy who played the lead in it, knowing that Scott, the guy who gave me this, is such a big, like, funk fan, I wrote it into the script that War is his favorite band. And he's, like, singing War the whole time. Spill the Wine! Loved it, so he's singing that, or whatever the name of that song is. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
So War has a special place.
Good.
You know, I really checked it out hard. Second, so as Matt said, I'm into theater. I do a lot of theater. And with anything that you do a lot of, there are times when you feel very down about it, and you question yourself, and you doubt yourself. And during those times when I'm just feeling like a total pile of crap about theater and wondering, like, is this the right thing for me? Is this what I should be doing? I listen to Bat Outta Hell by Meatloaf. It's another one that I own. It's probably, Meatloaf is one of the most, like, theatrically present singer-songwriter solo artists of all time. You can't, I mean, the first track on, the first thing on here is Bat Out of Hell, and you listen to it, and it just pumps you up. I feel like when I listen to Bat Out of Hell, the whole album, and close my eyes, I feel like I'm at a theatrical production. I feel like I'm at a rock musical.
And that was really their intent, was to create a rock and roll experience, not just an album.
Yeah, and that's a really good way to describe it too. So Bat Outta Hell was one that I just keep very close to me. The next one is one of my favorite artists of all time. I don't have this one. I don't have any of these, the rest of them, so I'll just get that out of the way now. I don't own any of these coming up. But Buddy Holly's Greatest Hits, okay? Or what is it? Buddy Holly and the Crickets, 20 Golden Greats. Buddy Holly lives, okay? I love Buddy Holly. I always have since I was a kid. My parents were spinning like golden oldie tapes all the time when I was younger. My parents bought like, you remember those infomercials, like, remember the oldies?
Yeah, that's one of them.
Like, my mom and dad had like a 10-tape set of golden oldies from the 50s and 60s, and that's how I got into Buddy Holly. I've got a couple Buddy Holly albums at home. I love the movie starring Gary Busey, which he was nominated for an Oscar for.
Most people don't know that. Gary Busey, Academy.
Gary Busey Busey. Gary Busey. You're gonna edit that later.
I am gonna edit that out.
Gary Busey played Buddy Holly in the Buddy Holly story, and he was nominated for an Oscar. And Gary Busey sang all those songs himself. I own that soundtrack, the Buddy Holly story. It's phenomenal. Buddy Holly, if you like any music with guitars, you cannot say you don't like Buddy Holly. Okay, because Buddy Holly was the bridge between country and rock and roll. And I'm not talking like Nickelback or Hinder or any of that crap, because that's not rock and roll, okay? Rock and roll has a much more personal feel and tone to it than a lot of music these days. Rock and roll is stripped down, and that's what Buddy Holly was.
Very much.
Completely stripped down. And music that transcended demographics and races of people and individuals. If anything, Buddy Holly's music brought people together. So that's why I chose this.
Which made it such impactful when he died.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, even people at the time realized we lost something that was so important. You know, because he was able to do so much with so little. It's just him and a Fender guitar up there.
Yeah, and he was so young, too. He was so young when he died, and so it's such a shame that we never got what else was up there in that attic of his. You know, because I know he probably had like hundreds more songs just ready to put down.
Right.
Because he demanded to produce his own work too. I mean, he was a true artist that like fought for control of his own work and didn't want to be represented by anything else except for his music. So get yourself some Buddy Holly. Alright, moving on. I picked more than 3. Sorry, but I could.
I never said it had to be 3.
You always said it had to
I
be
never
3.
said it had to be 3.
You've been saying it forever.
No.
But, transition from Buddy Holly, okay? We're moving into, like, these aren't in any particular order, but they're definitely, like, a group, okay? The Labyrinth. Who doesn't love The Labyrinth when you're a child? I directed a production of Faust. And one of the big pieces of inspiration I gave my students when I directed Faust was The Labyrinth. Go watch The Labyrinth, okay? Not only that, the soundtrack, I mean, The Labyrinth is a beautiful film. It's childhood imagination taken to a T. But another thing that I absolutely love about The Labyrinth is that the soundtrack, it's kind of more, while it's a movie soundtrack, it's also a Bowie album. Even though it's just like, how about a Bowie EP? Let's say that, a Bowie EP.
Because it's not all just his songs.
Yeah.
It's also the music by...
It's also the score.
Yeah. Which is good on its own. It definitely, it's a great 80s mix of kind of the synth stuff, similar to what John Carpenter and Giorgio Moroder did.
Yeah.
With that Bowie element in it. So.
I thought it was a very smart thing on David Bowie's behalf as well, to like sign on to be the evil lead in a children's movie with puppets where he sings, because not a single person within 10 years of my age doesn't absolutely love David Bowie.
Yeah.
You know, he knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing.
And every generation has kind of found him. And for a lot of people, this is the first incarnation they meet.
Exactly. This is a lot of people's first exposure to Bowie. So that's why I picked this. Because it's just a great movie as well.
Yeah.
As the world falls down and falling. Alright, what's next? I got 3 left, okay? So stay with us here. But these next 3, let's crank it up a notch, okay? 3 of my favorite movies. The Lost Boys. The Lost Boys soundtrack, okay? In 2009, I downloaded the soundtrack because I freaking loved
Cry Little Sister.
Cry Little Sister, yeah. I listened to it all the time in 2009. I put it on a summer mix.
It's a great summer movie, too.
It is. I mean,
it's up there as probably one of the best summer movies ever made.
It's definitely, at least in my opinion, like, probably, if I had to, like, actually write down a list and narrow it down, when it comes to, like, picking your top 3 favorite vampire movies, it's definitely up there.
I think for me it's number 1.
It might be number 1. It really might be. I mean, I'd have to really think about it just because there's so many vampire flicks.
Yeah, but...
especially in the 80s.
Yeah.
But this is definitely my favorite 80s vampire movie. It really might.
Yeah.
But that's like saying
there were a lot of them.
Yeah, Fright Night and Near Dark.
Near Dark, yeah, that's a great one.
But this is phenomenal. Not just for Cry Little Sister, but People Are Strange by the Doors is on here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
well, there's a cover.
Echo and the Bunnymen doing the
Yeah. But not only that, what was it? Aha! That's right. Another song that I downloaded in 2009 and just listened the crap out of was I Still Believe, performed by Tim Capello.
Yes.
If you don't know who that is, he's that hot dude with muscles rippling everywhere, no shirt, sweating, playing that saxophone. You know,
He has a name. He's not just sax guy. He has a name.
it's Tim Capello. And somebody on Facebook a few days ago was like, I finally saw The Lost Boys. And so I commented on it with just a gif of Tim Capello just wriggling with that saxophone. It's a really awesome soundtrack. It really, really is.
Yeah.
With a phenomenal cast
Yes.
in the movie as well. You really need to see it.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the most important vampire movies of all time. Sorry. It eats pieces of shit like Twilight for breakfast. Okay. I'm a big zombie fan. I love zombie movies. And this one right here. Do you want a party? If you've never seen Return of the Living Dead, it is what happens when zombies throw a rave. It is the most punk rock zombie movie of all time.
And this is kind of a rare soundtrack because, as is common with a lot of soundtracks later on, due to contract disputes, the soundtracks don't get reissued because the bands are like, well, you gotta pay them this amount of money, or they don't own the song anymore. So this is a rare soundtrack because it was pretty much only released once. And even in later video releases, they've changed some of the music in it. So this is the music as it was heard back in '85, I believe.
Yeah, it was 85 when it came out.
Yeah.
It's not a direct sequel to Night of the Living Dead.
No.
It's a branch off because the guy who wrote Night of the Living Dead had a contract dispute of some kind with George Romero. So he wrote this movie as a loose idea of a...
Like they even refer to the film.
Yeah, they refer to the film like, you ever seen that movie Night of the Living Dead? Which I thought was really refreshing because I hate when like zombie movies act like they don't know what zombies are. That's really silly.
And in this one, they want brains. If you've ever wondered why they want
zombies
brains.
speak.
Yes.
And
they're funny. They're really
yeah.
funny.
I mean, if you ever played Plants vs. Zombies and you hear the zombies say
Brains.
I got it from this right here. Okay.
Yeah. It's funny. It's scary. It's
a lot of fun. It's a great movie, and it is scary. It's colorful. It's punk rock. It's dirty. It's oh man, it's phenomenal.
That's a great
It's really great, and it has a lot of like genre favorites in it as well.
And some of these bands, this is like their only release. Like, I mean, obviously you've got the Cramps on here and 45 Grave, but some of these people, T-Soul, The Damned, Tall Boys, the Jet Black Berries, like
I've heard of T-Soul.
Oh, okay.
I forget what that stands for, but the Flesh Eaters.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of bands on here, but just listen to it. It's a lot of fun. It's really great. And
lot
the
of
movie's,
great
the movie's
obscure
fun
stuff.
too. See the movie first, okay? Love it, love it, love it. And then finally, like I said earlier, my parents, they had a lot of those golden oldies, like tapes from the 50s and 60s. And this next one's a soundtrack. And it's a movie that it's too important to not see. I can't imagine somebody never seeing Stand By Me and not loving it. Oh, well, it's Stand By Me,
Yeah,
okay? The Stand By Me soundtrack. This movie means so much to me because it's about youth and self-discovery and standing up for what you believe in and trying to do the right thing. You know, pushing a ball up a hill all the time because that's what all these characters are going through. But the music in it, I mean, it's a Stephen King novella that was made into a movie. But the music in it, my God, man. Every Day by Buddy Holly, Let the Good Times Roll by Shirley and Lee, Come On Go With Me, the Dell Vikings, Whispering Bells, the Dell Vikings, Get a Job,
Yeah.
Lollipop by the Chordettes, Yakety Yak, Great Balls of Fire,
Yeah.
Mr. Lee, and then finally Stand By Me, okay? Which a song on its own has influenced a generation, in my opinion. I'll never forget, I went to Chicago, and I was riding the train there, and on my way, we had to get on the train underground, and as we're walking down into the subway base, I hear this dude, like, Stand By Me. I hear Stand By Me. I'm like, hey, that sounds, hey, cool, alright, you hear the music through the speakers. No, it was a busker singing Stand By Me with a bucket in front of him, and he sounded exactly like Ben King.
Wow.
Phenomenal movie, phenomenal music, shattering stuff.
Yeah. One of the best made kids movies ever made, and
It is a kids movie. It's rated R, but it's a kids movie
Yeah.
because kids do cuss. Kids do go out on their own and do whatever, especially at this time. Nowadays, parents keep their kids inside a lot more.
Yeah.
And also, it's the second album that I'm featuring today.
That has two.
That has Kiefer Sutherland
And the Feldmeister.
and Corey Feldman.
Yeah.
So we are celebrating our love for 80s actors.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, they were really good. And Stand By Me. You talk about a film that just has. I mean, you've got Stephen King did the original novella. You've got
Rob Reiner directing.
Rob Reiner directing it. I was just about to say.
Yeah.
He was, I think, fresh off The Princess Bride when he made this.
Yeah.
And I think Rob Reiner is probably one of my favorite adapters of stories and things like that. Because obviously with Princess Bride and Stephen King work, he did this and he did Misery too.
Yeah, that's right. And Rob Reiner, dude, he's probably one of the most well-rounded directors out there because he doesn't stick to just one genre. And with Stephen King, as much as I love The Shining and It and all that stuff, I kind of want to say that, his dramatic stuff might be better than his horror writing.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah, I think there's definitely an argument there for that.
Maybe because it's easier for everybody to get into Stand By Me and The Green Mile and Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah, they're more grounded in reality than the other ones are.
As opposed to Tommyknockers and The Stand and all that other stuff.
Which I think are just more fun than anything else.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are your selections.
Those are my selections.
That is a great selection of stuff there.
Thank you.
So you have anything you want to plug or anything like that? Or?
Yeah, I do.
And I'm going to put links to this stuff in the description, so
just
make sure you check them out.
look down here.
Yes, right
okay.
there.
If there's not a graphic, then just scroll down to the comments. Okay, the comments section below.
Well, it'll be in the description. So.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
What I've got going on, okay, my big project that I'm working on right now is with the Kansas City Fringe Festival. Kansas City is a huge arts hub, okay? Probably in the top 5 art cities in the country.
Easily.
It's number 5. Of course, it's behind New York, Chicago, LA, but Kansas City's right there, okay? So if you don't know it, get here. But with the KC Fringe Festival this summer, opening July 18th, I believe, there's going to be 50 plays you can go see, a lot of art displays, some bands to check out, lots of cool stuff for 10 days. But I have a play in the Kansas City Fringe Festival called Revelations. It is a post-apocalyptic Christian zombie play. All right?
It's very good.
We'll see how a bunch of Christians fight zombies. All right? It's going to be at the Just Off Broadway Theater. I don't have the exact dates and times. With Fringe, they're all over the place. But check out kcfringe.org, okay?
Yes.
And look up Revelations at the Just Off Broadway Theater, produced by Relevance Productions. It's a company that I run with a couple other guys. So check that out, please do. Also, look up Benedictine College, Department of Theater and Dance on Facebook. That's where I work. I'm the tech director there. I teach students how to act, direct, write, build sets, all that fun stuff. I got to be a jack of all trades, a master of many in that job. Also, the first weekend in July, that first Sunday and Monday, with Stuffed Buffalo Productions at the Buffalo Room, I'm doing a stage reading of Armageddon.
There you go.
It's a fun, campy bit. We've done a lot of readings in the past. They've been doing it for 12 years, and I've been with them about a year, and I've done Ghostbusters, Gremlins, 40-Year-Old Virgin, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and we just closed Galaxy Quest, where I play the evil General Rathasaurus.
And if you wonder, how are they going to do Armageddon in a room that's barely as big as this?
In a bar.
They find a way, and it's incredible. It is so unbelievably cool.
They're ridiculous.
Yeah,
so
it's great.
come check those out, okay? First up, like I said, Armageddon at the Buffalo Room with Stuffed Buffalo Productions. That first weekend in July. Look it up on Facebook. Benedictine College, Department of Theater and Dance, and Revelations at KC Fringe. That's all I have right now.
See that show. It's going to be a great show.
It's really great. I'm super proud of it.
And make sure you check out the name Derek Trautwein too, because he's always doing stuff. I don't know, this video, when it goes out, maybe 2 years from now, when all this stuff is done, you still want to look this guy up because he's always writing, he's always directing, he's always out there, man. And you got to check out his stuff. He's an incredible writer, incredible friend. Very happy to have him as the first guest on my show.
Thanks,
very,
Matt.
very cool.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
So I would love to have a sequel to this video and invite you to come check out my vinyl
I will
collection.
do that. Yes,
it's
that
about half
sounds
the
fun.
size of yours, but I have a lot of things in there that you don't have.
Okay, great, cool.
So we'll be back for that soon.
Right on. Thank you guys so much for checking us out. I will see you guys next time.